watching Tim's Tiny Arcade, mother effer.
Hey guys, this is Tim from Tim's Tiny Arcade, and I'm with
Kwasi Christian from Alphabet Studios.
And we're going to check out a new game that he's got in development.
Yeah.
And he's going to do some gameplay for us, and we'll talk about the game as we're going.
This is Zakumba Astraia. It is an African-inspired action RPG. We built it in 9 months over the course of 8 developers with 5 to 10 hours that we've been putting into it. It's been a passion project, but now we want to make it into a reality. Everything is completely hand-drawn, all from the ground up. We didn't use any assets. We just built everything on our own. Right now, what you see is our intro animatic. It kind of shows a journey of Astraia as she's going in to explore this factory. Okay. It's an abandoned factory.
So what inspired you for this kind of game?
Basically, I really wanted to see representation of black characters within an indie game market as well as video games in general. And having a black female lead is really what inspired me to push it forward. The character is actually based off my own family member, my little sister, who I based the personality of Astraia off. And I really wanted to build something that was unique, represented my culture, and also was really fun to play.
All right, so what are we doing here right now?
So right now we just got into the factory, and we are going through the controls that is going to show us how to play the game. Astraia's goal is to be able to run through the factory, fix all of the machines that are around her, and also be able to unlock the final door that will lead her to find the blueprints for the golem she's trying to build called Talos. It's an adaptive golem that can turn into different weapons, which you'll see here in a second.
Okay.
So right now we're going through the cutscene. Astraia is trying to figure out how to open this large gate. We know that it needs some crystals in order for us to open all the doors. So now our hunt is on for the crystals. Everything, as you can see, is like hand-drawn 2D. All of our art is original, and we wanted to bring a lot of expression with Astraia. So as she's walking around, I am going to go ahead and start running with her. We just got our first crystal.
Okay.
And now we're gonna move through the area. Get my second item here. This is a very large area, so there's a ton of stuff that you can explore. We wanted to give the feeling of a large industrial factory. Like, how big can it be? How in-depth can we make it? Fun fact, if you just decided to walk through the whole game, it would take you around 10 minutes. If you ran through the whole game, about 5, and then there's a dashing mechanic that allows you to be able to run through very, very quickly. Takes you about 2 minutes to run through everything.
Okay.
So now we're about to learn about combat. So how the game works when you're fighting against enemies is you would be able to switch between different kinds of crystals, which are down here at the bottom. Those crystals, depending on the enemy that you're fighting, are going to be utilized very well so that you can take on like different bosses. So let's take on the first enemy.
Okay.
Right now, we have our nature morps. So in order to defeat them, I'm going to switch to fire and start utilizing a lot of different fire attacks. Now you want to be careful. You don't want to get too blocked off, otherwise they will do a lot of attacks.
Okay.
All of these animations were done by hand. I think it took us around like 2 months for each animation. So that's just walking, running, fighting with her combat, and then different things that Astraia can do.
Yep. Now, do you know how many approximate enemies you have in this game by chance, or?
I think in total for everything, we're going to be looking around like 23 to 25 enemies.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Now,
a lot of variety.
Yeah, lots of variety. So that's specifically in terms of just these morph creatures. When we made this game, we only built it as a rough draft. So we had to submit it to an indie game studio called GDEX. And we didn't have time to create different types of enemies, but we decided to do different variations of the same enemy where you would be utilizing different attacks.
Okay. So right now you got like a hammer or something, right?
That's correct. So right now the weapon that Astraia has is called Talos. Talos is the golem that she's trying to make better. He can transform into different weapons. So this is his hammer attack. And then he has a mace attack where you can like spin and defeat enemies as well. And then he can also block in order to shield, so that you can stop projectiles from hitting you as well.
So I see the action. I mean, your energy will go down quite a bit if you hit that button quite a few times. Is that correct?
That is correct. Your action bar is going to be utilized with your movement.
Okay.
So you want to be mindful of how you face off against enemies themselves. That's right.
So if that action bar goes all the way down, are you going to be able to do anything, or
you will? It does replenish itself over time. So if you can see right now how the action bar is going down, it still replenishes itself. In the final build, we are going to balance that out so it doesn't replenish as quickly.
Gotcha.
Because we want to give the essence of survival.
Right.
So right now, we're going to go and defeat these guys. And we got to take them down. Now, the enemies can swarm on you, so you got to be really, really mindful. And you can see my crystal energy is being utilized a lot. So sometimes I just want to switch to a normal attack, and it will do the exact same amount of damage. Well, not the exact same amount, but enough that you can go through and fight off enemies. So now I just gathered my final piece in order to fix this generator.
Now you picked up some berries, not just for like health and replenish. Okay.
That's correct. So in a lot of different games, you know, you pick up potions.
Right.
In this game, because I wanted to bring the culture, it is food items that you actually get to pick up that will increase your health.
Okay.
So it looks like right now I'm actually missing one part. So now I'm going to dash my way back to the main room, and there's the part I'm missing. Now, we built this dashing because originally, because this area is so big, if you were just to run through it, it would be really slow.
Right.
So this is why dashing helps for me to get from point A to point B very quickly.
Yeah.
So now I fix the first generator, and you can see this animation of her tinkering. Astraia is a builder. She likes to tinker and fix things. So once she fixes the generator, that will allow you to get the specific crystal you need, so that you can actually move on to the next room. You can see everything has been built here.
Right.
And is working.
Now we've seen like one different enemy. Now, is there like big bosses in this by chance, or?
In this current version, there isn't a big boss.
One. Okay.
Yeah, just because of time constraints we had. But we do have plans of creating like boss enemies that will have different things.
Okay.
So now we're going to face off a different type of enemy. Now you see that they're blue because they are our water creatures. If you've ever played Pokemon, it kind of has that exact same rule set where grass against water, water against fire, and then fire against grass. So now I'm going to take out, and I want to give the feeling of having to switch consistently between different attacks. But let's actually try one of my base attacks so you can see the damage that I'm able to do to defeat one of the monsters. So let's run through.
Okay.
And we got this. Perfect. So those little balls of paper, those are notes that you would be able to read through inside of your bag. Currently, our notes is a little bit broken. We're still fixing on it.
Okay.
This is, like a rough draft, but we are exactly. It's still in development.
Right.
And here's some more enemies that I have to beat up. So let's take them down with some nature attacks. And you can see these are vines that are like spreading across the field so that they can actually do a lot more damage with the nature. And they act differently than what fire would normally do. So now I'm going to take them out. Perfect. So now that I have those guys, we're going to move on to the next room.
There you go. A few more enemies.
A few more enemies here.
Now, what's the most enemies you've had on the screen fighting? I mean, we've seen like groups of 4. Is that about as many as we'll see at a time?
Yeah, I think the total number that we can have is going to be, like 6 or 7.
Okay.
But it's just to make sure that our game can run all of those enemies at a time.
Right.
Let's see here. Fighting. Took him out. I get my next part. So now that I have here, Astraia's running through.
So you say you've been working on this for what, 9 months?
So this build took us 9 months.
Okay.
The actual game itself, we've been working on this for about 2 years.
Okay.
And I've been working with many developers. Everybody on my team is super awesome. They've been able to help bring this vision to life. So we've definitely done like quite a bit of things. when it comes to the development stage of it. Let's see if I can go.
You're looking to get this on PC, console?
Yeah, so currently we are trying to get this game onto consoles and PC. This version of the game is free right now on Steam if anybody wanted to like play it and check it out. And you would be able to kind of give us feedback on our Discord channel and also on our website. And we're actually in the middle of our crowdfunding campaign so that we can support our vertical slice so we can pay our developers to work on a fully fleshed out version of this. So now you can see I have a bunch more enemies here to defeat. So let's see if I can defeat them. And it gets really easy to get trapped. So one of the quickest ways is to do an attack and then dodge away. Do an attack, dash out. And then you want to make sure you don't get caught because these enemies are fast. And you can see I got to move like fairly quickly.
Right.
Because they move really fast.
Yeah, they're coming at you.
Dash, attack, 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 dash out, attack, attack, and now I also just leveled up, it looks like. Nature, take that creature out, perfect.
There you go.
There we go. Now this room is the largest room, this water room, it's extremely big. We built it not realizing just how big. It's one of the reasons why we brought dashing, so that you can actually move fairly quickly.
Right, yeah.
So I believe I have all my parts now. And it looks like I'm missing one more. And I think I know where it is.
Okay.
There it is. Perfect. Now, this is a game where if you don't want to fight or beat up any enemies, you can completely avoid them. You just have to be very quick about it.
Right, to get around them.
Exactly. So now we just fixed the water generator. Now for this one, there's no animation that's shown. We just didn't have time to do it. But now that I've done it, we're on to the very last room.
Okay.
So now we got the water. Astraia is kind of a jokester. So now we gotta defeat some fire creatures. Let's get actually this banana. There we go. Now I have full health again. There we go. So now you see that they're orange, but it's because they are fire creatures. Now the water is one of my favorite because whenever you launch it, you lead your enemy through it and it explodes upon contact for the enemy.
Oh,
so as long as they come here, boom, you see that? They do that damage. So you gotta time it perfectly. No attack is the same. You have to be really strategic when it comes to it.
Okay, good.
Now let's see if I can grab the part that I need here. Nature, 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 nature. Gotta be quick. Lead him here. He's gonna follow me. Attack, attack. And sometimes it's kind of fun to like lead your enemies over.
Right, lead them over.
Exactly.
Do some damage.
Exactly. Almost there. And actually what I can do is I can avoid these guys in order to get to the next room. So now we're gonna go, now we're in the fire room, the final room. So now we had a bunch of fire enemies, so we're gonna take those guys out really quick. Super, there we go. I think water is my favorite because you just gotta hit it and then you can just leave.
Leave it there.
Because you know they're gonna do, they're gonna get defeated regardless. Let's see here. There's a banana. Let's recreate my health. I already have full health, so I'm good. Now the music in this game.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Something about the music. I can hear it. It's probably hard for everyone else to hear it.
Yeah, our OST is on YouTube as well, so you can definitely check it out on our Indiegogo page and everywhere else. But it was produced by Brian Skeel. He is an independent music producer based in Columbus, Ohio. And he's been working with us for like the past year on creating some awesome tunes that will allow us to be able to, you know, get the visual and the audio of the game out there. I really wanted an African sound.
Right.
There we go. Defeat that. Defeat that. And I believe. Let's see if we can trick this guy. Do some damage. There we go.
There you go.
And I believe that should be fixing the final generator.
Okay.
And then once that's done, beautiful. Now we got it moving. And now we finally gathered the final crystal that we need. So now we're going to go back, and I'll actually run through this. I think this is one of my favorite rooms, just how light it is. It's like really beautiful. My programmer and technical art director, Rose, did a wonderful job putting all of this together.
Right.
It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, I like the lighting.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite parts of this scene, where you see like the spilled crystals and everything, and you also see all of the banisters that are kind of moving around with it. So we wanted to give that feeling. So now we are going to fight the final wave of enemies. It's going to be an accumulation of everything that you fought.
Okay.
So you got to be really prepared. So now nature, fire. So you can see this game is very fast-paced, and you want to be able to
Oh, definitely, yeah.
take down. There we go. Beautiful. And now all the doors have been opened. Here's my final look. Regain some health here. And you can see each of these doors leads to like the room. So here's the water room we were just at. And then we just left the fire room. And then this was the original nature room that we were just at too. So we built the level so that you can always have a way of escaping if needed be.
Right.
So now we go to the big generator, interact with it. Astraia has all the pieces that she needs. Fixing it up. And now it's gonna spit out all of the crystals. There we go.
Nice.
The generator is working. Why do old machines work better than new ones? That is a mystery, isn't it? All right, so here goes. All the crystals have been used. There we go.
Nice.
And now we go into the final room. Now, originally there was going to be a boss that you had to fight. We just didn't have time to build it.
Okay.
So at this stage, Astraia finally found the blueprints. She's like, I should name this thing, but it's too long, but I'm going to call it Talos, because that's her best friend that she wants to build.
Okay.
And then there we go. You just beat the game.
All right.
So that was Zakumba Astraia, the in-development prologue. I'm super excited to make it a real thing for the final game. And we definitely want you guys to check it out. It's free on Steam. Help support us on our Indiegogo. And yeah, there we go.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Super enjoyed that.